Nick Ashman from Foxcatcher joins us on the Sports Daily. Nick, a very good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, boys. It's had a real workout over the last few weeks. They've moved this meeting from Rosehill, its traditional home, to Randwick, and of course you've got the Rosehill Gold Cup, so it's a little bit awkward, but nonetheless there'll be good racing. $10 million up for grabs in the Golden Eagle itself, and we've got an unbeaten mare in the form of Autumn Glow, who's 7 from 7 at the moment, and plenty of punters think she'll make it 8 from 8.
Does Nick Ashman think she makes it 8 from 8?
I'm going to go against her. Look, okay. I'd love to see her win. I was just talking to Jules, Valance, and we were talking about how it'd be great if she won, it'd be great if Observer won for racing for different reasons. But look, just only my opinion, guys. And it's only a opinion. It's not something I'm sort of putting my life on. But on my stuff, she rated down in the Epsom handicap, third up from the spell. It was the second time we'd seen her at the races, third up, rating down. She did it last spring in the T-Rose as well. She came back off a big number and rated down. Now, that's not to say she'll rate down fourth up from the spell. We don't know. She's never been to the races fourth up. But there is a little theory out there that I'm sort of peddling around that maybe she's at her best first and second up in her preparation. So we'll find out. We'll learn a lot more on Saturday. You would think, being the master that he is, Chris Waller, he wouldn't be running her unless he thought she was going to turn up near her best as well. So I definitely factor that in, probably more important than my opinion. But just at that price, I'm going to take her on. I thought Evaporate couldn't have done much more than what he's done this preparation. He's been a bit unlucky. He could be an each-way bet. And this Japanese horse, Panja Tower, he's got superb ratings to his name, guys. What he's done overseas is very, very good. So sometimes we get sucked into thinking, our horses are just better than everyone else's, but I think the fact is the Japanese definitely have better horses, better depth than us in terms of Group 1 power. We see that quite often on the world stage.
All right, so they're the two you're likely to have a bet on, Panja Tower and Evaporate?
I think so. Our subs, we back Modella at $251 to place, so we're giving her a cheer. Obviously, she's up against it, but I think she's around $14 a place. So the 51 a place is good shopping. So we'll be giving her a cheer. I should be transparent and say that. But I do think Evaporate, Panja Tower, maybe even Seeples, although he creeps up in weight. He was $2.50 in the two-rack last time out. Forms Frank through Transatlantic, who won the Five Diamonds prelude up here last week. And you're now getting $21 about him. He maps to settle one out, one back. So, I'd love to see Autumn Glow win, but I'll probably be playing around her on Saturday.
All right. Do you have a firm view on the winner in the Russell Boarding Stakes? This is a really good addition.
It is. Yeah, it is. Look, Jimmy Star is without doubt the horse to beat. We've made him a bet on the weekend. He's a Group 1 winner, 1,400 metres, courtesy of the All-Age Stakes. Geez, he was very good too back behind Briasa, running the best last 800 and 600 metres of the day. He was set an impossible task on that occasion, and he couldn't have gone any better. And then in the Everest, I thought Ethan Brown's ride was fantastic. I know he's caught wide, no cover, and a few people bagged him, but he was the only one that actually went out and had a crack at trying to give it to Karying Rising and sort of put his horse into the race. It didn't pan out for him on that occasion. He was still brave. I thought outside the winner, he was the best run of the race, bar maybe Angel Capital, but Angel Capital did what Angel Capital does and got back and just steamed home. I thought his run was huge. On Saturday, we're expecting the rail to be off at Randwick, more so than it was on Everest Day. And I think with the soft gate, what Ethan will do is he'll ride him a bit colder, anchor to the outside. You'll see Jimmy Star sprouting wins down the centre part of the track. If you want a rough in that race, Cold Crusher. He's a 1,300-metre specialist. Can't believe I'm saying that because we don't run over that distance often. But he's won 4 races at metropolitan level, all over 1,300 metres. I wonder if there's many horses in Sydney or Melbourne that have won 4 metro races over 1,300 metres. I doubt there would be. So he's a little play each way, and he usually peaks third up from the spell.
All right, $41 with Tab Touch at the moment. Cold Crusher in the Russell Boarding. $2.75. Jimmy Star is the favourite. Now, as we always do, we run the Rosehill Gold Cup at Randwick, and Wooten Verney at $3.10 is the favourite.
Yeah, don't make sense of that. Just when you think we couldn't do anything more stupid in racing. It does my head in these things. But anyway, look, I'm sure someone in a position privy to better metrics than me has made the call, and it'll make sense in the long run somehow. Wooden Verney, horse to beat off his figures. He's got a great overall record, this bloke. 9-time winner from 18 starts. His figures at 2,000 metres are outstanding, guys. 6 wins from 7 starts at 2,000. He always takes a bit of time to find his absolute peak. Just the small query is that he resumed here in Sydney, had 2 runs here in Sydney, then went to Melbourne, had 2 runs down there. Now he's coming back here, so he's 5th up in a preparation. Just whether or not, with all that travelling, he's going to be at his absolute best. Little roughy for you in the race, Churchill's Choice. Down the bottom, number 16. Gee, I wish she drew a gate. She was good in the Queensland Oaks. She was only 2 lengths off Yuang. She was good in all the lead-ups to the Queensland Oaks. She was even good in the James Carter 1,400-metre race won by Lilac, which was her first up run in the autumn. Then last time out, if you go and watch a replay of that Ank Stakes won by Idle Flyer, who's a big chance, single-digit hope in the Group 1 Empire Rose tomorrow at Flemington. She should have finished at least a length closer, if not probably 2 lengths closer. She was beaten in 5 by Idle Flyer, carrying the same weights as Idle Flyer. So the fact that she probably should have got within 2 or 3 lengths of Idle Flyer, who's now one of the favourites for a Group 1, I'll tell you what, up to 2,000 metres, I reckon she's about at $21.
Okay, that's a good little push there. Now, overall on the day, do you have a best bet or some other plays that you'd like to alert our listeners to, Nick?
Yeah, I think, look, go back to race 3 now. She's just got, you'll know your fate in the first 200 metres, but number 4, Jellylicious, is a mare that's always shown well above average ability. She's had her first preparation with Chris Waller this time in, and she's unbeaten in 3 runs. And Waller's just taken her through the grades and built confidence. I love the fact that he went back to a benchmark 72 last time out, because it made Jellylicious carry 59 kilos. A lot of mares sort of struggle when they get up to that type of weight, and he used that, and he would have looked at the figures and gone, nah, the weight's not going to stop her. So now he's gone up to a benchmark 78 on a Saturday with some good prize money, and he's got J-Matt back in the saddle, 58.5 kilos. There's a horse called Transcendent in the race that goes well, there's no doubt about it, but I tell you what, Jellylicious for mine, she's got a wide gate, sticky start point, she'll follow Husk across, and then I reckon J-Mac just snags back, drops in behind a hot tempo, and she'll blouse them late. I think she's probably stakes class. I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up in a listed or group race after this run on Saturday. So I think she's pretty good, and I reckon we're getting the price because of the spruik on this Transcend for Michael Friedman.
All right, that's race 3, number 4, Jellylicious at $3.30. Before we let you go, Nick, the Carbine Club, you flagged it a couple of weeks ago. Panova's there, $6 at the moment. Are we following up?
Yeah, I think so. No reason not to. Fairly typical when Sydney horses go down to Melbourne, you seem to get a better price about them. Obviously, Vinrock will go to the front. Regal Award's going really well at present, and he'll be up there on top of the speed. They're going to make sure it's a truly run affair. It's going to suit our girl, Panova. Go to the Sydney Siders. She'll be winning. Don't worry about that.
Declared. Beautiful. Love it.
Declared.
All right, Nick,
over the line.
Get some rest tomorrow, because then the big week starts.
Yeah, I've got Halloween, and we've got our street. Everyone gets dressed up and everything like that, and I'm far. Anyway, there's been a couple.
What
of
are you
really
dressing up as?
Jokes
James McDonald.
Well, I did joke about dressing up as Hey Dad to scare the kids off, but that was more funny with some dark twisted dads than the mum. So we won't go there again.
No, all right. Good for socials, eh? Good.
No, look, I'll be in a Dracula outfit. My wife's bar, the Graham Hughes outfit. So we'll go with Dracula tomorrow. And we've got $300 worth of lollies we've bought to hand out over a 2-hour period.
Gee,
oh, mate, you should see the street. Every house, if your house doesn't sort of put decorations up, they egg it, and they come swarming in and out. There's usually about 2,000 kids that go up and down our street and another street. So
that's a lot of rugrats.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was trying to find a way to scare them off. Hence, anyway, previous conversation. But anyway,
yeah, all right. Well,
good luck.
Enjoy that and enjoy the weekend. Prayers with you.
See you, guys. I better get off there.
That's it. Bye.
There's Nick Ashman.
Oh, dear.
Jules Valance, he'd be a Halloween man. Jules, how do you do?
I do well, and Halloween, yeah, I'm just excited. I just don't know which one of my outfits I'm going to wear, but I'm definitely going to be getting into full makeup kit, I can assure you of that. But it is a cracking night, that's for sure.
Now, what is promising to be a cracking day is this Derby Day meeting at Flemington on the weekend. Where would you like to start, Jules?
Well, we could start probably with the Group 1s, I suppose.
Yep.
The Coolmore, we'll go racebook order. It's a belter of a race. Godolphin dominated in terms of the market with Bivark and obviously Tentaris, and understandably so. It's just what you think. If you think Bivark can repeat what it did in the Golden Rose, it's probably drawn really well to be able to do that. High speed, sort of cruising horse. I think that'll suit Flemington. Just whether you think it can repeat that number. If it repeats that number, they're not getting anywhere near it. The number in the Golden Rose was just outstanding. I'm probably siding a little bit more with Tentaris. It's third up here. Caulfield wasn't its track, but it still was able to nail Raging Force sort of on the line. Big track here. Third up. It's got another level in it. We know what the level of Bivark is. We don't know if Tentaris can get to that level, but I think it probably can.
So what are you thinking about trying to predict if Bivark can get back to that rating? What's sort of going into that decision?
Well, this is the thing. It's just whether you can trust. The horse starts $9 in the Golden Rose, so it's not as if it started 6-4 and we've seen big numbers for it previously. This is a big outlier for this horse. Now, we know this camp has, in previous, with other horses, they produced this big outlier. Via Sustina in the Cox Plate, Switzerland in the those kinds of races, Coolmore, I think, as well. So it's just whether it can do it again. And that's the only concern I have, is that I'm just not 100% sold that it can. Now, if it does, I said it's going to be as good a horse as it would had probably, to win a Golden Rose and a Coolmore. So I just think it might just regress a little bit. And if it does, I think Tentaris, I know, is going to run a peak this prep. Its performance at Caulfield was really good, but it just sets up a beautiful platform to explode on Saturday.
Might start a pretty good 45 minutes for Godolphin, because after that, Observer goes around in the Derby at $2.10, one of only two horses in single figures. Yeah,
look, he's no spoil on the price, but he's just the most obvious. And I think the draw is really good. He doesn't have to lead. We saw him lead at Moonee Valley, and it's been well documented. Zara throttled him down, gets a fine, all that kind of stuff to look after him on the 7-day backup. Beautiful. There just doesn't seem to be any speed in this race. Now, if there's something else that decides to go forward and make it a real 2,500-metre test, then that can bring Observer undone. But I just don't see it on the map. That I don't think any of these horses will do that. They'll be all sort of just trying to find 2,500 metres themselves. And if that's the case, I think Zara probably sits in the 1-1 on this horse. And I just think he's just going to be too good. Now, he's getting to 2,500 metres really quickly. He was third up in the bars. He was second up in the Caulfield Guineas, obviously, where he didn't have much luck. So he's gone 16, 2,000, now 25. It's not ideal, but I think if it's a moderate tempo, he's the winner.
All right. Now, what about this Empire Rose Stakes? We see Fangirl here. We see Pride of Jenny. People are saying it's a match race. It's a little bit deeper than that, is it not?
I think it is. I think it is deeper than that, and it's my best of the day, and it's called Idle Flyer.
Okay.
I think Pride of Jenny will obviously run them along. I think Pride of Jenny's become a bit of a freshie. I think it's best for her to have that gap. I think if she didn't go to Sydney, I might have been in her corner, but she's gone to Sydney. Now she's back again. I think she'll lead. I'm hoping a horse like Lazura or possibly like a Lucy with the blinkers sort of first time end up just carting Idle Flyer into the race. I think you've got to be close enough but not too far back. And I think that's where Bangirl gets herself into problems with Pride of Jenny. She seems to have the piece of string too far out, and then she can't make up the ground because she gets out of her comfort zone a little bit too early. Idle Flyer just keeps improving every time it goes to the races. You watch this horse, it really sticks its neck out, flattens back its ears, and just chases the line every time. It'll need to do it on Saturday, but I think it will.
All right, that's race 8, number 10, Idle Flyer. Where else do we go in the program for a couple of bets?
Yeah, early, race 2, number 4, horse called She's a Alibi, was first up behind Tentaris and Raging Force. They both go to the Coolmore. She picks a lesser race, 1,400 metres ideal. You go back and watch that race, that replay. Just watch her 50 metres, 100 metres past the post with outstanding work. I think she's ready to win. She's an Alibi in race 2. And in race 3, guys, Number 5, horse comes down from Sydney called Caballas. I thought it was pretty good behind Rothfire. I'd go back to its last prep where it won at Scone. Big number there with me. I think if it repeats that, it'll be winning on Saturday.
Is it good enough to come to Perth for some of our good races?
Yeah. You knock off this win, then it's not going to be the worst in a race like the Winterbottom, for sure.
I know a lot of water has to flow under the bridge before Tuesday, Jules, but do you have thought after everything that's transpired in the past 7 days re the Melbourne Cup?
Yeah, I think the water's the key. I think I need a dry track, but if I get a dry track, I think a horse called One Smooth Operator is the winner of the Melbourne Cup. I thought his effort in the Mini Valley Cup was outstanding, and I think he's a big track horse. And if you go back and watch last year's replay, where he ended up starting $7, he just got way too far out of his ground. He just was in the wrong postcode. But then through the line, he was pretty good. I think he'll be ridden closer on Tuesday. And if it's a dry track, he needs a dry track, but if he gets it, I think he can win for us at a bit of a price.
All right, fingers crossed. We might catch up at some stage next week in between everything else that goes on, Jules. Get some sleep.
Thank you. I'll need it.
There's Jules Valance from Foxcatcher and, of course, Nick Ashman, thebeatenfavourite.com.au if you're looking for all their stuff. Foxcatcher, follow them on Instagram. He's quite funny, Jules.
Yeah, he's very